John Severance from Devcon Security. Thank you.
Thank you very much for inviting me. When I mentioned Stan Smith, your illustrious president, didn't know who he was. So it just shows how old I am and how young she is. I moved to California. I moved to Florida back in '85. Went through a divorce, so I thought I could move here with where my sister lived, and there I met my second wife, who was just a sweetheart. But I started in the security industry, obviously, because there weren't a lot of manufacturing jobs available in Florida. So Max Factor and all those businesses. Obviously, you know where Mako, because he didn't know Max Factor. But I started with Safeguard Security, which was a local security company here in the Sarasota Manatee area. It was bought by Coastal, who had a larger footprint, covered most of Florida, and then Devcon bought Coastal, and we're throughout the state of Florida, and we have 60 branches in metropolitan areas throughout the United States, Las Vegas, San Francisco, Atlanta, and we have a large presence in New York, where we do running work for the diamond industry and the gold industry in metropolitan New York. Devcon Security, just to let you know what's happening with them, is a large company. It's the second largest in Florida. Actually, it was the largest in Florida until ADT bought Brinks, and they gobbled them up, and now they're number one. To mention something, we get a lot of referrals from old Brinks customers once ADT bought them, just because they've had dealings with other companies, and they've had dealings with us, and they like the service we can provide a little bit better. Talking about our service, I mentioned it in my 60-second info commercial, but we are a 5-diamond central station. And why is that important to a customer? Because that's kind of a boring subject for me to say, hey, we're 5 diamonds. We're 5 diamond because our response time is under 25 seconds when we receive a call. And it's all computerized. If you don't receive your call, if you don't answer your call, then we go to the second key holder. They don't answer, then we dispatch. We call 2 people because it was a Florida law to cut down on false alarms, to call 2 people before we dispatch. 10 years ago, in this area right here, Manatee and Sarasota, there were 18,000 alarms in 1 year, and 700 were real. That means we were getting a lot of false alarms. And there's 2 reasons for that. The main reason is the home. They don't know how to use their system. They don't know what they should do in response. And so they get dispatched on. The other reason would be your central station. They don't do it properly. They call one number, they don't reach them, they dispatch. Since they started to do a finding process, and we started working a lot closer with the central stations and with the security companies, that 18,000 figure is down to 6,000. And that's pretty darn good. We have a lot of security prevention officers that work for the cities and the state that are willing to work with a client in case you do have a false alarm problem. I used to go over to a house, and every time I would be over that house, the alarm would go off 4 houses down. And I said, what's going on there? And he said, oh, it goes off every day. You know? and obviously the client is not taking care of his security system. The security system runs 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day means it's getting a lot of usage. So if something goes wrong, if the client will call right away, say, hey, I had this go on, we can get out there, like Rene said, we can respond within 24, 48 hours and take care of that problem before the client starts to get fined. So that's one. We're an A+ with a Better Business Bureau, and there's just a few companies in our industry that can make that distinction. And that's because we try to be A+, Better Business Bureau. You know, good service doesn't just happen. Good service has to be worked out. You know, a lot of you are business owners. You know that you just can't sit around waiting for the phone to ring or waiting for someone to call you up to let you know what's happening. I'm sure a lot of you are very proactive. You're looking for clients. You're looking to keep clients. You know, retention is very important in any business. and it's important in the security industry. So we try to retain our clients by giving them good service and an opportune time that's convenient for them. We guarantee our products for life. If you're going to be monitored by us, something Brent.
5 minutes.
Giving you the. I was going to high five.
All right.
Thank you. Good service.
Lifetime warranty.
What? Lifetime warranty, yes. Now you know that's my age. Lifetime warranty. So if something happens to your system and a motion detector breaks, a glass breaks, we'll come out there and not charge you for the part. We'll replace it with just labor. And that separates us with a lot of our competition also. We're local, and there's very few local security companies in the area. I can only think of really one that's here in the Manatee, Sarasota area. And I can think of one when I go down to, ready? When I go down to Sebring, I'll go in and my competition will call up and say, well, we'll charge you this much. When the guy comes to install it, go ahead and sign the contract and pay us. That's great on gas, but it doesn't give you that personal service. Devcon will go, we're Port Charlotte, we're Sebring, Avon Park, Sun City Center, Apollo Beach, and thank God for the Intercoastal, because then we stop there. But so we cover a wide area, but we have great technicians that have many years of experience that are more than happy to pass on that experience for you. A great referral. People that we're always looking for are those people that are unhappy with their security provider. It's funny. I'll do a lot of shows, and 60% of people that have security systems are somewhat dissatisfied with their provider. I'll go to a show and say, "How's your provider?" "Oh, he's great. He's great." You know. Well, that's they obviously don't want to talk to me. But if you have a neighbor or you yourself in a business or home are unsatisfied or dissatisfied with your provider, if you've been with a provider for longer than 3 years, you can cancel within 30 days. And we can go ahead and give you a 20% discount, guarantee your product, give you a superb service at a cheaper price. And that's hard to say sometimes, getting better service for a cheaper price. So when you're thinking of talking to people and they have a business, they have a home, they have a security system, and they might complain or you hear an alarm go off on your neighbors, "Hey Tom, what's going on with that security system of yours?" You know, we can take care of it. We can usually take over the system they have already, so it's not going to cost you any money to replace product. But usually, if they do have to replace product, we'll do it for $75. That gives them a brand new panel, brand new keypad, complete check of their system, and that allows them to get that guarantee on their parts, and we can also do it at a reduced price. Also, we have been in the business for 40 years, and we know what customers want, we know what they need, and we'll do our best, especially at a local level. I mean, there's many times when I've talked to Rene, and he's just said, just take care of them. Take care of them. And a lot of people don't realize when a security company does come in and take over a system or does put a system in, usually it's going to take us 2 years to get back our money on that system. Because, you know, if anybody that has a security system or has had a quote, you know, we come into a house, we can do that for $399, or we can do that for $299, or we can do that for $500. Whatever we're charging usually is going to cost us about $1,200 because you've got the labor there for 4 or 5 hours, and you've got your equipment we're putting in for a cheaper or a less price than what we're paying for. So we're actually giving you that to get the arm on. In security, that's the name of the game, recurring monthly revenue. And get recurring monthly revenue and keep it. That's the key, is you have to have good service, you have to have good quality, you have to have quality people coming into your home. And with Devcon,